Hello and welcome to another planning appeal case study video. I'm John Peters, and in this video I'm going to explain how we overcame a recent refusal by Shropshire Council for one of our clients. This planning appeal was to overcome the refusal for a two-storey outbuilding on some land behind our client's home and a change of use of that land to domestic curtilage. That was refused by the local authority Shropshire County Council Planning Department. This is the first of two appeals that ran simultaneously on this site. The second one was for a two-storey rear and side extension and is featured in another video. Our client had initially contacted us during their first application when they'd been refused by Shropshire Council. This initial application refusal had a couple of issues that prevented us recommending an appeal at that point. But in fact a revised application was best to overcome an error in the plans and a missing report. We advised the client that although the revised application would most probably be refused again, but the refusal would be easier to overcome at appeal with these issues already addressed. So sure enough, the revised application came back and was booked in for a free no obligation consultation to run through the refusal reasons that had been used by Shropshire Council and to evaluate if an appeal was now viable or if an alternative option would have been best suited. The free no obligation consultation, which took around 25 minutes, found that this case was viable for appeal to the Planning Inspectorate, taking the decision process away from Shropshire Council Planning Department. This case was refused by Shropshire for the following reasons. The siting scale and design of the proposed development is considered to be unacceptable. The garage would have an incoherent relationship with the scale and plan form of the original dwelling. The inspector in this appeal identified that the main issue for the refusal was the effect of the proposed building on the character and appearance of the host property. It was also noted that the proposed developments in the open countryside, as it's surrounded by agricultural land, and that the proposal was for a large two-storey outbuilding comprising of a carport, a workshop, a gym and a garage, with an office located above, all located at the rear of the plot behind the host property. The host property is a non-designated heritage asset, and paragraph 209 of the National Planning Policy Framework requires that the effect of the proposal on the significance of a non-designated heritage asset should be taken into account in determining the application, and states that a balanced judgment will be required having regard to the scale and any harm the significance of the heritage asset. Many of you are repeatedly stating to us you had little or no correspondence throughout the application process, and the first thing you knew was receiving a refusal notice from the council, and in some cases when you received a letter from ourselves. With planning appeals, experience matters. Our specialist appeals team, who handle over 2.5% of all planning appeals in England and Wales that are currently produced and submitted, start by producing a comprehensive and robust appeal statement. That, in this specific case, covered 18 pages and was just over 3,200 words. It is important to detail in the appeal statement where the local authority failed in their assessment of the case and how, where possible, both local and national policy applies in favour of the appeal. Additionally, if possible, bringing in similar cases that the Planning Inspectorate found in favour of at appeal. Obviously, with the back catalogue we have of wins, we're able to use these cases and what the inspector said in them as additional argument to support the case we are working on. Once an appeal statement is completed, we send the document to our client asking them to check that they are happy for us to submit the case. If we need to add any information that the client may have forgotten previously to supply, it's done at this point and the case is then submitted. It's vitally important that all documents and responses are submitted on time throughout the process, as failure to do so will result in an appeal not being successful, something we hear about often when people attempt to appeal for the first time. Always ensure you use a professional who has considerable experience of appeals. It is worth asking them for some recent successful planning appeal case studies like the ones you find on our website. Due to the large number of cases we represent, we actually have a dedicated team that liaises with the Planning Inspectorate on a daily basis. For this appeal, an independent planning inspector from the Planning Inspectorate visited the site on the 17th of September, and we're pleased to confirm the appeal was upheld and permission granted on the 1st of October in a 6-page appeal decision notice. If you'd like to find out if we can help you with your planning appeal, complete our online form on our website www.planningappealsuk.com. And our new case support team will arrange for a free, no obligation consultation with one of our planning appeal assessment professionals. Thank you for taking the time to watch this planning appeal case study video, and I look forward to producing another one very shortly. Bye for now.